we often see players taking frequent drink breaks. So what do they drink? Well, they drink glucon D or glucon C. So what is present in glucon C or glucon D? Well, the main ingredient of this drink is glucose. And glucose provides us with instant energy. So players have glucon C or glucon D, which is rich in glucose, which provides them with instant energy. So what is this glucose? Well, glucose is a combination of carbon and water. So carbon and water together forms a molecule of glucose. The chemical structure of glucose is this. Now see, these green ball-like structures are the oxygen atoms. These purple ball-like structures are the hydrogen atoms. And these ash color structures are the carbon atoms. Now count the number of oxygen atoms present in a glucose molecule. See, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 atoms of oxygen in a glucose molecule. What about hydrogen atoms? See, there are 12 hydrogen atoms present in a glucose molecule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 atoms of hydrogen. Now, count the number of carbons. There are 6 carbon atoms in a glucose. So since there are 6 atoms of oxygen, 6 atoms of carbon, and 12 atoms of hydrogen, glucose has a molecular formula C6, 6 carbon, H12, 12 hydrogen, and 6 oxygen, O6. So the molecular formula of glucose is C6H12O6. Now notice another thing. The glucose molecule has a ring formation. There is a single ring formation in the structure of glucose. Hence, glucose is a monosaccharide. Mono means single, comes from the single ring that is present in its structure, and saccharide means sweetness. So glucose is a monosaccharide. So glucose is sweet and provides us with instant energy. So is this energy production limited only to glucose within the sweet food? Well, no. There are other sweet food present which provides us with energy. Let us look at those. See, there is honey and sugar. Both of them are sweet in taste, and even they provide us with energy. So what is the main ingredient present in honey? The main ingredient that makes up honey is known as maltose. And the main ingredient of sugar, or the main constituent of sugar, is known as sucrose. Now maltose and sucrose, both of them have a chemical structure like this. See, there are 2 ring formations in the structure of both maltose and sucrose, and hence they are known as the disaccharides. Di means double, as in the double ring formation in the structure of maltose and sucrose, and saccharide means sweetness. So maltose is formed from two molecules of glucose. One molecule of glucose has one ring formation. So two molecules of glucose will have two ring formations which fuse together to form one molecule of maltose. Sucrose also contains one molecule of glucose, that is, it gets one ring formation from a glucose molecule, and the other ring formation is supplied by fructose. So, what is a fructose? Fructose, just like glucose, has the same molecular formula, which is C6H12O6. What is different is the chemical structure. So glucose and fructose, both of them have the same molecular formula, C6H12O6, but they differ in the chemical structure. Now, I want you to perform a small experiment next time you have plain rice. When you have plain rice, you'll notice that after chewing it for some time, rice becomes sweet in taste. Well, rice is made up of a substance known as starch. And the structure of starch is this. See, there are multiple ring formations in the starch that is present in the rice. And since there are multiple rings, they are known as polysaccharides. Poly means many, and saccharide comes from the word sweetness. So this starch or the polysaccharide is not sweet in taste. But when you continuously chew rice in your mouth, the polysaccharide break down to form monosaccharides. Now you know monosaccharides like glucose, they are sweet in taste. So rice, which is composed of a polysaccharide, break down while chewing to form monosaccharides, which are sweet in flavor. That is why rice becomes sweet in taste. So the monosaccharides, like the glucose, disaccharide, which is present in honey or sugar, and polysaccharides, like in the rice, they are all formed of carbon and water. See, these are the carbon atoms. And water contains hydrogen and oxygen. So the entire structure is made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And hence, all these monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides can be together known as the carbohydrates. Carbo comes from the word carbon, and hydrate means water. So carbohydrates consist of the monosaccharides, the disaccharides, and the polysaccharides. Now, when you walk on a treadmill for about an hour, brisk walking, you'll spend about 100 to 120 calories in that 1 hour. But do you know that 1 gram of carbohydrate can give you 4.1 kilocalories of energy? So, when you walk for 1 hour on a treadmill, you burn only about 100 to 120 calories. But if you eat 1 gram of carbohydrate, you will gain 4.1 kilocalories of energy. You all know Popeye the Sailor Man? Well, Popeye has spinach and he gets instant energy. So, spinach also have carbohydrate in them, which provides the energy. But we do not have spinach as a staple food. We generally eat rice or chapati. Rice and chapati, they contain a carbohydrate known as starch, which is a polysaccharide. So why do we not take spinach as a staple food? Well, this is because spinach is made up of a carbohydrate known as roughage, which is actually a polysaccharide. Now this roughage we cannot digest in our digestive system. So if we cannot digest roughage that is present in spinach or all the leafy parts of a vegetable or the grass, we cannot take in all the carbohydrates present inside the roughage. But these animals, the herbivorous animals like the cows, the goats, they can utilize the carbohydrate from the roughage because they can digest the roughage unlike human beings. That is why we do not have spinach as a staple food, but cows and goats, they live on grasses and green leaves. Now, do you have carbohydrates before performing every activity? Well, no. When you eat, the excess glucose gets stored in your body in the form of glycogen. So glycogen is stored glucose. So where is the glycogen stored? It is stored in our liver and in our muscles. So excess glucose gets stored in the form of glycogen in our liver and in our muscles. Now, when we do a physical activity, this stored glycogen again converts to form glucose, and glucose provides us with energy. So we need not have carbohydrates before performing every task because there is stored carbohydrate in our body in the form of glycogen present in our livers and in our muscles. So carbohydrates are sweet in taste, they provide us with energy, and they also get stored in the body so that it can be used for future purposes. So carbohydrates can be stored in the body in the form of glycogen so that when we require it again, this glycogen can convert back to form glucose to provide us with energy to perform that activity.